Hey there, this is Raquel, and today I'm going to show you how to use Xero. I'm going to give you a brief overview of where everything is and how to use some of the basic features. So as you can see behind me, or in front of me, we've got a demo Xero company. So this is what it would look like if you had a company in Xero. Along the top, you can see we've got dashboard, so this is where we are now. So if we click it, we'll always come back to the same page. We have business, so this is where you do all the operational finance stuff, so paying bills, finding invoices to chase, and creating expense claims. In accounting, we've got all the sort of like accounting side of things, so these are like viewing reports, posting journals, managing your fixed assets, and your chart of accounts. Then if you have payroll, you've got to pay extra for payroll. If you've got this, anything to do with that will be here. Projects, there's another sort of add-on if you pay extra for. I won't go into that detail, it's a bit sort of specialist, I think. And then contacts, this would be all your customer and supplier information. Then also you've got this little plus on the right, this is to create anything in Xero. We'll later go through how to do invoices, bills, how to create contacts, and some manual journals. The rest I've not used so much, so I won't go into that. Then you have the search bar. Here it says you can search for anything. So normally I have a little search box and you can type in, things like numbers, and it will show you transactions that match those numbers, supplier names, invoice numbers, customer names, that kind of thing. And those are sort of the main bits. There's a help section, notifications if you have any, and then the help section here. It doesn't seem to be loading on the demo account, but here you might be able to raise cases. And lastly, you've got your profile at the top where you can change your name and that sort of thing. Right. Okay, so in the main dashboard, you can sort of customize it, move things around, hide sections, but really the main thing that you use up here is the bank accounts. So it'll tell you how many transactions are unreconciled, the balance, and how that's different to your statement. They'll always have a little help section at the top, which you don't need after you've looked at it. Okay, so these are all the transactions. So on the left are the payments, where it says spent obviously is the money's gone out, and then received is the money coming in. And Xero is really good at matching things. So you don't even have to, here it's sort of guessed and found the invoice that this payment relates to, so all you have to do is press OK and it will connect them together. You can see that the reference in the bank statement, which is here, matches what you'd have on the invoice, so I'm happy with that. Same with this one, it looks like we have a payment already in the system, and so that's being matched. The other thing that you can do is you can create transactions. So let's say you don't have a bill, but you might just want to type in information. So here we've got Smart Agency, and if they're not created in the system, then you can create a new contact directly here. You can also create an account. So I don't know what I did before. Say a really expensive telephone bill. I put it to the telephone account. You can choose the VAT rate. In this case, I'm going to put 0 rated, and then a description. Really expensive phone bill. There you go. And so you keep on going until all these bank transactions have been reconciled with an accounting transaction. There's the cash coding, which is the same transactions but just in a different view. So some people might prefer this. You have your bank statements, where you can see all the lines that have been reconciled and all the ones that have been haven't yet been reconciled, and some more banking features, but I'm not going to go into that now. Okay, so we've gone through the bank statement. Let's go to business. So if we have the main sections really are the invoices section. So you go here to see whether your invoices, depending on the status, what invoices are in what status. So the awaiting payment are the ones that probably be most interested in, and you see how they're overdue, by who, and the amounts. So this is all your invoices section. A useful feature is you can send out statements, so you can group together, so you can select a supplier, you can either print it as a PDF, or you can directly send them an email based on the date range we had here. So let's say I want to email these guys. You might want to send yourself a copy. And there we go. Okay, what else? Let's go for bills to pay. So again, you might be reviewing your draft or awaiting approval, and then once they've gone through those stages, they would come to this awaiting payment stage. Here you might select them, you might schedule for payment, where it basically just gives you a date where you're planning to pay them, and then at some point you can create a payment and go through Xero's payment creator. So you put in all the bank details, and then afterwards you can export it to a CSV and upload into your bank if you can do that. Otherwise, once they're paid, you don't have to do it this way. You can just do it directly in the bank, and it'll match to the invoices. Okay, and if you wanted to we'll come back to creating. So we've shown invoices, bills, expense claims. This is where you create the expense claims. So you go to new expense claim, and you put in all the information. You can then also upload an image, and once you're happy with all the information, you would then submit that. Or if you're approving it, you can just approve it straight away. And you can also do this through your phone. So you just download the app on your phone, log in, and it'd be the same process. Okay, so there's that section. That's that section. In accounting, obviously you have all the reports, which are favorited here. So if we go to reports, you can see that all the ones with a star are the ones that appear in this section. Once you've made a custom report, they'll appear in here. So that's if you have edited it, added some columns. So if we went to the balance sheet, you could amend this, add more fields, add more columns, monthly comparisons. Actually, I haven't used this new report. But yeah, if you make changes, you can then save as a custom version. So version 2, and that will then appear in your custom reports here. Okay, so those are all the reports. In here you've also got the VAT return. So this is where you can submit VAT returns directly to HMRC. Obviously you have to connect it. So this is demo account, so I can't press it, but technically you could press that, connect it to HMRC, and you can submit your VAT returns directly from Xero. The other useful things are chart of accounts. Obviously you see all the accounts that you post to. This is obviously a default account for this demo company, but you or your accountant would decide what accounts you want to see and categorize your transactions into. And then finally, manual journals, which is very much an accountant task. So here you can create journals, you put some narration in, so let's say accruals, I can't spell accruals, you put the date of your journal. If you want it to reverse, so it'll post it again, but all the debits and credits will be swapped, so you undo your journal. So that makes sense for accruals if I want to do a reversing journal. So let's say an invoice not received, and that would go to rent. You'd have accruals, So I put in the cost, I don't know, 50,000. It's really a lot of rent. And then you'd post that, you'd post on the 31st, and then you'd have a second journal reversing on the 1st. So posting to draft, and I can post. And then once it's posted, if you go to all, you can see all the journals that you've posted. So let's go to across, and you can see the reversal just above as well. So there's that journal and the reversal. Okay, so we've gone through those fixed assets. So if you have lots of fixed assets, you might want to use the Xero's functionality, which is pretty good. I won't go into too much detail here. I won't go into any detail actually, but this is where you would manage your fixed assets. And that's the accounting section. Let's go to advanced. So here you can see we've gone through a few of these. There are other sections as well. Financial settings is particularly important. I'll probably just go into that one actually. So this is where if you've got a team, or actually even yourself, you might want to stop yourself from posting before a certain date. So once you've finished all the work in a month, you want to close it because maybe you've submitted the VAT return or you've submitted numbers and you don't want those numbers ever to change, and you just then make any changes in subsequent periods. So basically you do that by changing the date. I always make these dates the same. So if I don't want to touch anything before the 31st of March, I will save that and close that period here. You can also, here you've also got information about your year end, what VAT scheme you're on, whether you're on the accrual, cash, you might be on another specialist scheme here. And there we go, those are sort of the main bits here. And then in the plus section, we haven't created any invoices or bills yet. We've created a manual journal, so you can see we could do that directly from the accounting manual journal section, but you can also quickly go here and create a journal. Let's go and create an invoice. So let's say I am, what am I? A company that sells mobile phones. Yeah, I'm Apple. So I might invoice John Lewis. We don't have a contact for them. We then put in our payment terms, so you can do a shortcut like that by just putting plus the number of days, or you can pick the date. The invoice number is generated automatically and increases every time you've got a new invoice. You can also add your own reference. Maybe you've got a PO number. You have different brandings, which we will go into settings and update those in a bit. You can then add any backup if you have any, and then you just put in the information. So let's say Apple Mac. Maybe you've sold them 100, 1,700. You put the sales. Yeah, there's VAT. You've got all the different VAT rates. You've got all your different GL codes from the chart of accounts. Yeah, so we'd approve that. You might save it temporarily, but here I'm just going to approve it. And there you go. So this will appear in your accounts then. 170,000. So let's go to, just to check, we'll go to reports. Now what date? In October. 170,000 in October. So let's go to the profit and loss. Oh, getting some information. So there we go. We can see that was in, yeah, in this, within this range. So we've got the 70,000. If we clicked on that, we'd see all the transactions that make it up, and we should see the transaction that we made. Here we go, 170,000 Apple Macs. Okay, cool. So that's an invoice. If you wanted to do a bill, it'd be very similar. It's the same layout, but obviously you'd pull all this information from a bill. So you probably attach the bill here. And then based on that, you then fill in this information and save. Right, and then let's go to the advanced settings. You can also go to organizational settings. So here we can modify the users, so give access to people. We can update your invoice, the templates. So where we saw the invoice template, that would be in here. So you can change the commentary at the top, what information you have in the footer as well, the payment terms. You can put all that here. I'd probably say those are the main things that I've used. Organizational details, obviously this is the bit where you want to put all your company information. So your address, company number, maybe put a bit about what you do. These are the things that will also appear on your invoices. So there we go, that's it. Cool, thanks for watching.